Hey there, today I am looking at DP Reels, and there's two aspects of this video that I'm going to be talking about. The first is that this is part of my ongoing series of the glamorous, boring life of being a producer. And it's not boring, actually. This isn't boring at all. I love looking at Reels, actually. It informs me of my own directing reel, which is what I have to still put together the producing reel. Although for producers, it's more like projects, snippets that you show, or a sizzle reel. But as a director, I put together something. And so the second aspect to this is, as a producer, because I'm in producer mind right now, I'm looking at these reels and I am looking for a DP or a cinematographer. And it is important that I get the visual aspect really looking good. So I'm looking right now at the lighting and the light versus darkness, and are the people in focus and everything like that. And in these kind of reels, it's okay if it's a little bit of flashy cinematography and maybe drone work and all of that, though I'm not necessarily looking for drone work on this particular project that I'm looking for a DP for. The other aspect of it, though, is it's making me really realize, so I have a directing reel on my website for directing, and I selected things based on what I felt showed my capacity to direct actors the best. And I feel like, having been on both sides, producer, director, and actor, and understand that sometimes you get really crappy directors for big budget things, and sometimes you get really great directors for things that sometimes struggle with the cinematography. And one of them I put on, and I don't regret it, maybe I will regret it, I don't know, is something that I literally had to shoot, and we had like zero budget, and we didn't have a last minute, we didn't have a cinematographer. And I really liked the work that the actors did and the way I was able to direct them and everything, and I still have that. I put that on my reel, and I really had a hesitation with that, because I feel that people judge reels on the production quality, and what I mean by that is, how well is it lit. There was one shot where I went, ooh, expensive, because I could tell they spent half the day lighting it, and I was just like, and that made me think of my reel again, and I was like, you know what though? Director, not cinematographer. I know my cameras and I can do that stuff, but most of my emphasis has always been on directing, and so I still feel confident that that's the right, production for me to choose, because I love how comedic it is, and I love the actors' work in it, and I really kind of shaped it in their physical comedy. Maybe I'll link to my reel. But anyway, my point is, producer hat today. If I were looking for a director and they gave me all this flashy cinematography, which a lot of director reels do, I would be like, no, I want to see how the actors interact. I want to see their facial expressions in close-up. And that's, if I were a producer picking a director, that's what I'd be looking for. And I rarely find that. It's really weird, because, and maybe I'm completely off, but I know producing, I would be looking for that for a director and not the flashy camera stuff, because I know that really you do pick your cinematographer, but it can be all over the place, and it really depends on the budget, and it really depends on just the skill of the cinematographer. So you could be doing great work as a director, and maybe the cinematographer that was chosen by you or by the production, you never know, could not be as good as the other work reflects. So it's always interesting. Hats, switching hats, director, producer, is always interesting, because I always am just like, now if I put my shoes in director, how am I feeling about that now? Blah, blah, blah. So that's also why I encourage people to do other stuff, even if you're like totally not interested in such and such a job on set. It's interesting to step into it once in a while, because it really gives you another perspective, and then you can see your main job with more clarity.